Dear students, in the last class we have discussed about the hormones of adenohypophysis of pituitary. Today we will going to study the hormones of neurohypophysis of pituitary and also the hypothalamus and its importance in the regulation of other endocrine glands. Pituitary gland is attached to the hypothalamic part of the brain through infundibulum. You have seen that this is the hypothalamic part of the brain, and you can see the pituitary is attached to this through infundibulum. It consists two lobes. You have studied already, adenohypophysis and this is neurohypophysis, the anterior lobe and posterior lobe. So, neurohypophysis lies below the hypothalamus, comprises a mass of unmyelinated nerve fibers that run to the gland from the nuclei of the hypothalamus. So, here this adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis, even though they function as a pituitary gland, but these two endocrine structures are totally different in their function, in their secretion, nature of the secretion, and in their histology and its embryological origin. So, anterior pituitary or adenohypophysis during development derived from the buccal, it is epithelium or ectoderm, and the neurohypophysis is the extended part of the hypothalamus. So, the neurohypophysis, that is why it consists neuronal tract that is started or else the neurons, they have started in the hypothalamus, they end here. So, all these are called neurosecretory cells, they are specialized neurons. In response to the stimulation, they secrete hormones and they get released in the neurohypophysis to the blood. You know, the endocrine glands, they release hormones directly to the blood. Here the neurons in the hypothalamus, you will find here. So, you know that neurons, they have a long process called axon. Their axon, you will find, they end here, that means they release hormones in the blood vessels of the neurohypophysis. That is why it comprises unmyelinated nerve fibers that run in the gland from the nuclei. Nuclei means these the neuronal cell mass in the hypothalamus, it is called nucleus. These nerve fibers carry the neuronal secretory products, that is the neurons secreted hormones they carry. So, there is two main hormones are one that is the vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, and that is also called antidiuretic hormone or else ADH. Then oxytocin. So, these hormones are released in the neurohypophysis into the blood. So, they are generally called neurohypophysis hormones, but they are actually secreted in the neurons. So, those are located in the hypothalamus and they get released in the neurohypophysis. So, this the hypothalamus and from the, you can see it is directly connected to the neurohypophysis. So, they release the hormone, that is the oxytocin. Oxytocin, it is secreted in the hypothalamus, get released in the neurohypophysis, is the one, it is the target organ is the one, it is the uterine, the muscles. So, it is, even though it is secreted in the hypothalamus and released in the neurohypophysis, its target tissue is the endometrial, you will find the uterine muscles, uterine muscles. So, uterine muscle contraction during childbirth or else a parturition under the influence of oxytocin. So, this causes strong uterine contractions during childbirth. Contraction of these uterine muscles expel the baby out or else it is called labor. And also they have a role in the sexual activity, and also you can see after the delivery you will find the milk ejection from the mammary gland. So, in the mammary gland development and milk production under the influence of the adenohypophysis hormone prolactin, you have studied last class, and the milk ejection is brought by the oxytocin. So, the oxytocin is it works in a positive feedback. You can see the stretch receptors in the vagina. So, when the birth canal opens, that is the stimulus, so that the oxytocin get released. So, it makes the uterine muscles to contract and expel the baby. And similarly, you can see when the baby it touches the nipple and the milk is ejected, so to this touch receptor. So, sometimes you can see after the term days, after 9 months also, if the pregnant woman is not getting her labor pain, so the doctors are using now a synthetic oxytocin, it is called pitocin, and this pitocin administration induces the labor. So, this is about oxytocin. Another hormone of neurohypophysis, basically they are secreted from the neurosecretory cells of the hypothalamus. They are called the vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. So, this antidiuretic hormone, their action is on the collecting tubules of the nephrons in the kidney. These are the, you know that these are the kidney having the structural and functional units called nephron. So, these nephrons are you can see they are there is a collecting tubule. So, you can see these kidney collecting tubules, they have you will find there is a water canals, or else you can see it is called aquaporins or water channels. So, these water channels, they reabsorb the water and conserve the water. So, reabsorption of the water and place it back into the blood is under the influence of ADH or vasopressin. You know that in the glomerular filtrate, you can see it is about 36 to 24 liters of urine. If all this urine is excreted out, the body 24 liter urine concentrated into 1 liter. So, in this way the water conservation takes place. What happens? Hypersecretion of this ADH, vasopressin, highly concentrated urine excreted. And what happens? Hyposecretion. It causes diabetes insipidus. So, this diabetes insipidus is different from diabetes mellitus, that is due to the insulin deficiency. Here diabetes insipidus due to hyposecretion of ADH or vasopressin. So, the person excrete the large quantity of diluted urine. You will find this is the normal under the influence of ADH. So, this is the urine amount if there is the hyposecretion of the ADH. So, this is about the importance of the vasopressin and its hypersecretion and hyposecretion. So, what is the relationship between the hypothalamus and the pituitary? Hypothalamus is it is actually, the pituitary is called master gland, but the headmaster is nothing but the hypothalamus. So, pituitary functions under the influence of or under the strict regulation of the hypothalamus. So, the hypothalamus, you will find they have this is the part of the hypothalamus of the brain. They have the neurons. These neurons are secretory in function. Usually neurons, they conduct nerve impulses, you know that. So, here the neurons in the hypothalamus, they are special types of neurons, they are called neurosecretory cells. They respond to the stimulus they receive from the brain, other neurons, they secrete hormones. These hormones are called neurohormones, secreted from the neurosecretory cells of the. So, these neurohormones, they regulate the other endocrine glands through pituitary. So, here you will find the adenohypophysis, they are not directly connected to these neurosecretory cells. Instead, these neurosecretory cells, they release these hormones to the blood through the hypothalamus hypophyseal portal system. So, this portal system starts in the hypothalamus, ends in the pituitary, a blood network connection. So, it is the neurohormones which released to these hypothalamus hypophyseal portal system, that get released in the the anterior pituitary adenohypophysis. This adenohypophysis, you know that you have studied already, there are 7 hormones: growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, then ACTH, FSH, LH, PRL, all these in the last class. All these, they are regulated or they are under the control of the neurohormones released from the hypothalamus. So, they may be stimulatory in action or else they may be inhibitory. Stimulatory means they bring the secretion of these hormones. Inhibitory means they stop secreting these or stops the secretion of these hormones in the adenohypophysis. In this way, hypothalamus indirectly control all these organs. You can see they indirectly control the testes, they indirectly control the ovary, then milk secretion, then adrenal gland, then thyroid. All these, you can see they are controlled by pituitary. You can see there are trophic hormones. All these hormones are actually they are controlled by the neurohormones secreted in the hypothalamus. What are these neurohormones? How they stimulate and inhibit these pituitary secretions? That is what I am going to discuss now. So, to maintain the body's homeostasis according to the changes in the outer environment, or else the hormone secretion is strictly regulated. So, hormone secretion need to be regulated properly. So, to maintain the homeostasis. So, several hormones regulate each other. So, hypothalamus hormones regulate the pituitary hormones in turn regulate the thyroid hormones, adrenal hormones. Likewise, hypothalamus produces several releasing factors or releasing hormones. They function as a stimulatory to the pituitary hormones, or they may inhibit pituitary hormones. So, these hormones of pituitary called trophic hormones, they regulate other endocrine gland. So, in that way the headmaster controls the students through the teachers. The same thing here, hypothalamus is the headmaster, it controls the other endocrine glands through the pituitary, that is the master gland. Hypothalamus of the brain having control over other endocrine glands through pituitary. So, this is what I have showed here, the cartoon of the neurosecretory cells. The neurosecretory cells, just like a neuron, it has got all the dendrites, then the cyton and nucleus and the axon. Axon end you will find it releases hormones directly to the blood. It is connected to the blood sinusoid and releases the hormones to the blood. So, this type of cells are present in the hypothalamic nuclei. So, hormones secreted in the specialized neurons, these are called neurosecretory cells. Hypothalamus is connected to the anterior lobe of the pituitary. This is the anterior lobe of the pituitary, this is adenohypophysis, and this is posterior lobe neurohypophysis. Through the blood circulation, posterior pituitary ge direct connect agide. So, anterior pituitary ge it is connected through the hypothalamus hypophyseal portal system. So, these the neurosecretory cells, what they are located in the hypothalamus, they releases neurohormones. They are releasing factors to this blood circulation. Through the blood circulation, they enter the adenohypophysis, and these adenohypophysis, the cells, thyroid stimulating hormone secreting cells, adrenocortic trophic hormone secreting cells, FSH cells, all these are regulated through these releasing factors. This is how these releasing hormones are controlling the release of pituitary hormones. So, hypothalamus produces 7 releasing factors or 7 releasing hormones. All these are peptide hormones. They stimulate or they inhibit the release of hormones produced in the anterior pituitary. Let us see what are these releasing factors. So, the releasing factors are, so they may be the prolactin releasing factor. So, this prolactin releasing factor stimulate the pituitary to release prolactin, and thereby you can see the milk is secreted, then the mammary gland is differentiated. So, this is PRF. Another, that is the plus, it is stimulatory, minus is the inhibitory. PIF, prolactin inhibitory factor. So, it inhibits the the prolactin secretion from the pituitary, thereby inhibit the secretion of the milk. Similarly, GnRH, the plus, this is the stimulatory hormone. It stimulates the pituitary to secrete FSH and LH, thereby regulate the testis and ovary. Then TRH, thyroid stimulating hormone, releasing hormone. It is the thyroid releasing hormone, TRH. It is stimulating the pituitary cells to produce TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Thereby regulate control the thyroid gland through this TSH. Similarly, you will find CRH, corticotrophin releasing factor. Corticotrophin releasing factor from the hypothalamus, which bring the release of ACTH from the pituitary. ACTH controls the adrenal cortex. So, this is how the CRH, it is a stimulatory hormone. Then you can see the GHRH, growth hormone releasing hormone. It is bring the pituitary to secrete growth hormone, thereby control the growth of the body. Another inhibitory hormone, somatostatin, it inhibits the growth hormone and control the growth. So, this is how hypothalamus is the stimulatory and inhibitory factors affecting the excising the control over other endocrine glands through pituitary. So, these releasing hormones secreted like a neurotransmitters, and in the neurons they get released into the sinusoids or the blood vessels. That is why they are called hormones. So, the TRH turns on means activate TSH. CRH, corticotrophin releasing factor, turns on ACTH. GnRH turns on FSH, LH. PRF turns on PRL. GHRH turns on growth hormone releasing hormone, turns on growth hormone. All these they are stimulatory in action. Inhibitory action, PIF turns off PRL. Okay. GH, it inhibits growth hormone. So, the hypothalamus controls the secretion of hormones, which in turn control the secretion of hormones of the thyroid, adrenal, gonads. In this way, brain controls these endocrine glands. So, how the controlling exercised, it is by negative feedback. What exactly negative feedback? The negative feedback system I have showed here with respect to one negative feedback. So, this is hormone reaches a certain level, it sends the signal to stop for the further release of this hormone. So, here you can see this is hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. So, you will find the level of the cortisol, adrenal cortex hormone in the blood. It controls the release of ACTH from the pituitary, and also the control of cortico releasing hormones from the hypothalamus. So, this is what you can see. Likewise, hormones in the blood is maintained within a narrow range. So, it is it will be maintained, hormone level is maintained, and they have a half life. They may be degraded if they are not used, or else once they reach a certain level, there is a negative feedback. The anterior pituitary signals the adrenal to release cortisol hormones. Increased level of this hormone, so it controls the anterior pituitary to release ACTH and also CRH. This is called negative feedback. So, this is about the hormones of neurohypophysis and how hypothalamus exercise control over other endocrine glands in the body through pituitary. Thank you.